Joanna, thank you very much indeed, and I'm delighted to be introduced as the only rather than the last, which sometimes happens, which is obviously something slightly different. It's a great pleasure to speak to you today here in Liverpool. Everyone says how great Liverpool is, but coming from a Scot, you know that I really mean it, because the connection between this incredible city and my country runs so incredibly deep. Shared values, the same weather, and the feeling that a meal isn't a meal without something that hasn't been deep-fried. Even just walking around Liverpool, you can be mistaken for thinking you're in Glasgow. And for a guy born and bred in Edinburgh, I think that might just about be a compliment. Of course, the footballing success of this city has been in partnership with some fantastic Scots. None more so than Bill Shankly, born in Ayrshire but made in Liverpool. Kenny Dalglish and Alan Hansen, legends of the game, even the current Scottish national team captain. And despite what Ali McGovern MP might say, there is another team in this city, especially with the Scottish international connections of the past, like Alec Young and, of course, the present Nathan Patterson. But there's something else both Scotland and Liverpool have in common, and that is the desire to kick out this corrupt and out-of-touch Tory government. You would have heard our Shadow Chancellor Rachel Reeves in her wonderful speech earlier this afternoon when she spoke about the Tories' disastrous record in government. Her big announcement that Labour would fund the Acorn carbon capture and storage project in Scotland is absolutely transformative. There are few better demonstrations of a just transition with 20,000 high-quality jobs at its heart than supporting this new technology. It is something the Tories have relegated to a reserve list. And at the last Scottish Labour Party conference, I called on the SNP government to use their own Just Transitions Fund to support this cluster, but all we got from them was warm words and no action. Instead, the SNP continue to be more interested in stoking grievance than storing carbon. Conference, I want to touch on just one of the many ways in which the Tories are failing our country, and that is by failing to protect its very existence. Because the biggest threat to the Union today is really not the SNP, it's this Tory government. And what was Liz Truss's first priority? Cutting bankers' bonuses and huge tax cuts for the richest. Her administration is the most unfair, unjust and divisive government in our lifetime. When she was elected, Liz Truss tweeted, or maybe mistweeted, that she would hit the ground. Promise delivered. They give money to those that don't need it and nothing to those that do, paid for by those who can't afford it rather than those who can. So it's little wonder that many Scots see Westminster as beyond repair. And make no mistake, the SNP thrive off such disdain. They don't want to make devolution work. They don't want a Labour government. So, Conference, let me be very, very clear. The SNP are not our friends. They exist. They exist for one reason and one reason only, to rip Scotland out of the United Kingdom. And please don't forget, at the last election, Nicola Sturgeon herself encouraged people in England to vote Green, not Labour. So let me reiterate Keir's message. No deals with the SNP. None. No. Nay. Never. The only deal we want to make is directly with the Scottish people. Our party was founded by a Scot. Scotland has been integral to our movement. That will never change. Of course, we can't resolve the imbalances in our country overnight. There's a lot of work to do. But it will be the work that will be at the heart of the next Labour government. And that's why Keir asked Gordon Brown to oversee a commission into the UK's future. The Commission is tasked with clearing up and cleaning out the centre so that the United Kingdom works for every part of it. You heard that from Lisa just a few moments ago. It would be a plan for reinvigorating economic devolution, where we unleash the talents and contributions of all parts of the country. Growth for everyone, everywhere, wherever you are. And part of its purpose will not just be to try to convince Scotland to stay, as much as we should, but to make Britain such a good place to be that everyone in all corners of our country will want to be part of it. I'm pleased to announce that Gordon Brown's critical work is nearing completion and will be launched in the coming months. In conference, let's thank Gordon Brown in his own words. Gordon, thanks for all you do. So let's send a clear message from this Labour Party to Scottish voters. If you want rid of this Tory government, then help us do it. If you want a UK government that works for Scotland, then help us elect one. If you want away from the binary choice of separation versus the broken status quo, then help us deliver it. And over the last 18 months, the change that has taken place in Scottish Labour is utterly remarkable and unprecedented. In the Scottish parliamentary election, we overshot expectations and managed to prevent an SNP majority. This May, at the council elections, we beat the Tories and got back into second place. And I believe at the general election, Scotland will help elect a Labour government, as we have done so with every Labour government since Attlee in 1945. At least then, I might have some friends down on the train. Depends who they are. Conference. The person that has made that happen deserves every ounce of the praise that he receives constantly. He's our most popular politician in Scotland and is exposing the utterly deplorable record of Nicola Sturgeon's government every single day. And it's always my great pleasure to introduce my friend and the leader of the Scottish Labour Party, Anas Sarwar.